Good morning. Morning. All right. So yesterday was kind of interesting. Kind of got a shot across the bow there with that early sell-off, and markets did not lift off very well. Went a bit lower into you can see the support there to the left. I'm going to say it again for the millionth time. Look to the damn left. Don't put trend lines, fib lines, VWAPs, fine tools on your charts. Oh, but you do need charts. Here we go. There is a signal. There we go. Thank you for the reminder. I would have spoke for 20 minutes, just letting you guys look at Dan and I. Wouldn't have been that bad. Anyway, so markets got that shot across the bow there. Wide range bar, igniting to the downside. Right into the congestion to the left that we reviewed yesterday. Stopped it there, created a pivot, retest. That's why we use the pivots. They're visual aids. And I can see a pivot, 3 higher lows to the left and right. But, with all the other things that we need to do analysis on, multiple time frames and so on, and the candles, bar by bar, relative strength and weakness in markets and so on. Puts that little PL there, or in TC 2000, we just put a dot to market, and that creates a thought. Hey, if prices come down after a momentum move and retest that marking there, I know that there's going to be buyers. Then I look to see the bars that form, and so we've got this little retest. And next step, we look at the middle of the wide range bar, give or take. We want to see the candle bodies stay in there. So we've got this retracement, now this rounding top. You can see the rejection there, and it creates a new pivot high. And now it's beginning to roll over. So as I look at this chart, I say, well, beginning of distribution. It's got a relatively significant support level down here at 37.15 on the futures. Breaks below it, going to be, proverbial rock off the roof on a short-term basis, of course. So, this momentum move, there's no support down there. So we look for it to go down to the next level, which here, say, well, if we are to believe what's going on here on the daily time frame, that's not going to happen. We've got this wide range expansion bar here where prices dipped down under the pivot low and recovered, came all the way back up. And then we got this wide range bar. Now, this is going to look different on SPX, of course, because you don't have 24-hour trading. We're just going on this chart. We're doing the analysis here, and you can see the dotted blue line there that I put there yesterday was, okay, this is what's going on over here, downside and middle of the wide range bar. Now, the higher time frame, big wide range bar should take precedent, and it stay in the upper half of here in the bullish case, because this is an uptrend, which says that this shouldn't happen. Doesn't mean it won't happen. But if we see this intraday coming down here and it cannot lift off, well, it opens up the probability that it's going to happen. And if that happens, well, that negates this wide range bar in this whole bullish pattern here, where it's been chopping around. Buyers have been stepping up on a dip, begin to fall apart. And that begins to happen, well, it's going to violate the trend on the daily time frame. So that just sets a stage here for a very objective bias as to what should happen in the bullish point of view and what shouldn't happen. As we go into the day, we're going to see what really happens. 60-minute, we'll see reaction where it goes down to the pivot low. Well, in reality, Tony, it should not go down there. And I'll tell you why. Because it already came down here and tested this. and it had a successful retest. Now, if this is truly bullish, it shouldn't go back down there. It should hang around in this area. Buyers should be willing to now step up at what we call minor support and consolidate here, go sideways, coming into the holiday. I know tomorrow's a full day, but the volume is going to, just drop off by noontime and people are going to go whatever they're going to do. And this should consolidate at the upper half here and then go higher. So we'll just see if this all plays out. All right, so that sets the stage for our bias here. The weekly still looks okay. We got a bottoming tail bar and so on. So let's go and look at SPX. Today is Wednesday. Okay. So we had the gap up and reversal, and we got a red bar. All right. Went pretty deep into the green bar and it gapped up. Not a big deal. Red bars have been ignored along the way here, all along the way, even though this choppy stuff. Theoretically, we should get another red bar ignored. Now, so where's this going to go? We've got unfilled gap down here. And it's about flat, I guess. It's about flat. So SPX today, I would say, let's look for premium below 3680. 3680, below 3680. I mean, I don't think there's going to be anything way down here. If it was, I think that would be a no-brainer. So 680, and you've got these pivots down here at 3680. So you got an unfilled gap. You've got other congestion. So a put spread 3680 by whatever to get the premium is what the focus would be for today. Right. So it can lean against here. See if the market sells off early on. Premiums kick up a little bit, but theoretically that should hold down below here. It's got a problem. Better sell below 3650. Well, that's fine. No premium there. Right, so if this premium down below 3650, all the better. Right? So we look at the charts and we see, where there's premium, and if there's substantial, well, for tomorrow. Okay, so what McGraw is saying there's no premium here for those of you on YouTube. So go out to tomorrow, which will be an extra expiration day since Friday the market's closed. That'll give you some time to assess what's going on here as far as any continuation. So if this red bar follows through to come down here, you may even get some juice a little further down for safety. And of course, if it comes down here, then you can look above yesterday's high for the call spread. All about where we think prices won't go. There you have it. Nasdaq futures, similar, consolidating in the upper part of the bar there, and coming up near the highs. And it'll be interesting to see how far things get here this morning after yesterday's little tantrum and sell-off on the intraday charts, which didn't damage the daily chart. Just wow. I wrote in the advisory letter over the weekend, could a chart get any more boring than this one? Just going sideways for a couple of months there. Buyer step up on the dip. Yesterday it took out the high. It didn't really do any damage. It didn't go deeply into the green bar, and just going sideways here. Continues its sideways movement, still staying above 30,000. Maybe Whoever can hold this market up would love to see this thing close above 30,000 in 2020. We shall see. Got some room to fall down there. Uh, Hit it low. Russell. So that's where the real profit taking came in, where it just fell like the rock. And when you look to the left, lo and behold, a pivot low. Where's the VWAP? Where's the fib lines? Where's the Ichikumi cloud? Well, you don't need it. Just look to the left. Right? Get all that hocus pocus off the chart. If you're looking at it, take the risk, remove it, go into 2021 clean. You see it works, right? Dan and I show you this every single day. It works. So simple. What an aha moment it was for me so many years ago when I took all that garbage off the charts and it's like, well, why did I need this brain damage? So we shall see if this holds. So far, it's a little minor retracement. And you can get very far. So this is a riskier. If you're considering shorting this, this is a lower probability setup. It's got a void above. And what I look for in this kind of a setup is some kind of a retest or even a higher high. I don't mind it making a higher high. I refer to that as like a bear flag, but it comes up a little closer to, it shouldn't get all the way up here, of course, but it gets a little closer to where there's resistance and it creates it. So you've got on the start of the next bar, which has still got 43 minutes to go, it's going to mark this as a pivot high. Well, it could be a long scalp, McGraw. I mean, this is what makes trading difficult as far as human nature and individuals. As to one trader sees this as a long scalp, which it certainly could be with the right pattern. You can see the 5-minute here certainly doesn't support that as being a high probability trade. You need some kind of bottoming pattern going on here. Whereas another trader says, you know what? I'd rather not make that money. And I don't know how high this will go up, but if I can get the pattern that I'm explaining, a retest or a higher high that begins to roll over, right? That could be a much bigger trade to the downside. And so as someone that comes new to trading, they see one trader make money with this little shorter term trade, and they see another trader make money with this other trade. They get totally confused. And then, of course, greed tells them, hey, why can't I do both? And then they probably don't make money on either one. And that's just part of the process of learning. So if it retests, there is support below. Well, unless it's at all-time lows, Deb, there's always some support below. So as we look at multiple time frames, and let's say this is in a downtrend and this thing begins to form the pattern that I have explained, my assumption is it's going to get taken out. Now, I don't know that it'll be taken out, but as I do the analysis of multiple time frames, that's what it suggests. So, now I have to deal with the unknown. So as it comes down there, I'm going to assess how it came down there, meaning the angle of retracement. And what was the reaction when it got there, and so on. So no one knows for sure, but let's say this had already has broken some support, or the daily was in a downtrend, and we had this pattern while the daily's in a downtrend, and we've already gotten a topping pattern on the weekly. Well, all of that begins to build on a higher probability that, yeah, it's going to go through that and it's going to keep going down. So how many concepts can we put together? Deb. Okay. bonds, still in a coma, getting tighter, tighter, and tighter. And we look at this chart over the last couple of months and review this retest and just can't get going. So which way is it going to go? Set the alerts. That's what I said yesterday. Crude oil still holding up there, coming down here this morning, but still, you know, trading within yesterday's range and that trading within a range coming down kind of hard at the moment. But as you can see, it is coming down toward all of these pivot lows. It's going to stall there soon. I can't do that now, Carlos. We can save that for the middle of the day on the lessons stuff. Gold, just quiet here. Did the same pattern here, morning after morning, looking for a downside shakeout and consolidation here to go higher in alignment with the monthly, which is in a nice uptrend after years of consolidation. And then the breakout, of course, silver looks better, but consolidating. Come back to this next year. And of course, the transports still down here. Right? We had that nasty break. And you want to know if this can get above that line or whether it breaks below that line. I suspect it's going to stay in between the lines as we get toward closing up for the New Year holiday. And then we'll let's see which way it's going to go next year. What are yours, Dan?
Good morning. Yep, 2 days to go here. All right, all of our opens seem fine, so as usual, just ask me if you have a question about anything. Go right to some gappers here. No earnings, but just interest list here. We'll go through. RMO. This totally, I don't know what they are, but I can just tell the footprint. This totally looks like a battery company. So then they just went vertical. Look at this blink. Remember I was telling you 2 days ago when I was at happy hour. That was right the day CNBC at the 7 p.m. show. They're talking about, hey, it's time to buy battery stocks. Some guy was on the TV today from Bush, I think, talking about this on QS. It's like I just don't understand why can you not come on in November or December and have that same talk? Why it rallies from 20 to 130 now? It has your attention for some reason. Oh, it went public today. Oh, that was RMG, really? I did notice but wait, I did notice RMG disappeared because I had it in my mind, or I'm like, oh, it must have gotten bought out or something. But if RMG was public, why are you saying they went public now? All right. All right, well, whatever, I don't care. And Tony, why IWM? Shoot, I missed the thing just scrolled up. Why IWM daily downtrend? That is nuts. All right, let me copy and paste this. This is what Tony's asking. Number one, it's not a downtrend. That's a total bullish uptrend. Higher pivot highs, higher pivot lows, rising 20 above the 50. It's actually, more extended. 70, 80%. I'm not sure what your question is. IWM's in a very bullish uptrend. It's just extended. And now it's been weaker the last 2 days. I'm sure just because it's due for a breather. Let's continue here. BTBT. Um, that would have been interesting yesterday or today over yesterday's high, but now the gap's messing it up. I don't know what they do. Is that it's sure in play right now. Blink, nothing to do. Hewlett Packard. And it's, looking toppy. We'll keep an eye on it. A little breakout failure. Hey, Debbie, since you're in the room, do you remember we had a talk yesterday? And you said, hey, Dan, if you get a big gap up, should I put the stop under the day's low? And I said, I can't answer that. It's, we went into it in detail yesterday. But you see how this is a perfect example that I was telling you, no, I would not put it under the low. It has to be under the red bar. So this one came in to minor support and snapped right back. So they would, and now it's up $10. All right, and today is asking about FLGT. It's a sloppy trading range. I have no interest in it myself. It's a little gap breakout, isn't an uptrend on the 15. It's just, unless you're just going to day trade some type of pattern that sets up. It's not great. Riot. This was one I wish we got into core long back here. It's when the Bitcoin started rocking. Look at that. I guess right here, this gap breakout bar with a stop under the red bar, that would have been the entry. It's too extended and no pattern on the daily for me, but the 15-minute pre-market chart is very bullish. So that could be a day trade. HWM. Yeah, that's a strong uptrend. Yeah, that's just another marching strong uptrend with higher highs, higher lows. Yeah, I'll keep an eye on it. MKC. It's a sloppy bottoming pattern, kind of a triangle thing, but you got the MAs curling. More of a put spread candidate. Bro, let's see if we can get any juice on that. I have a number of put spread candidates in here. John, yeah, Alta I have on my list up here. Yeah, Alta's, it's a long watch. It's on my list. Now, yeah, see, I mean, you guys got to tell me what you're thinking. I have no idea, John, what you're asking about in NOW. It's a bear 1, 2, 3 on the daily. It's gapping up here to resistance on the 15. I have just zero interest in that. Tesla, again, you got to tell me what you're looking at. Oh, do you remember yesterday we took our profits on Amazon, but I said the chart looked totally fine. We did it just because the market was acting squirrely. But one of you asked me, hey, well, should we leg into a condor? And I said, no, it's not. I would not sell a bear call credit spread on this pattern. And I said the same with spiders. I said, even though it was a gap and engulfing, and it, it looked like it wanted to continue headed for the gap fill, just not a candidate yet. All right, EOSE. It's extended, but it's very bullish. Wow, this is incredibly bullish. Consolidation here over a couple weeks. Wow. Put it on a 15-minute chart. It's far from the 20, but it's acting very strong, James. KSS, yeah, that's bullish consolidation. We're actually in guess. This one is stronger. We bought the 123 2 days ago. And that looks great. Thomas asking about Neo. They're watches, it came down here, making a higher low at the 50, a nice reversal. It's worth watching. Look at Nicola here also. I made the comment it could be a breakdown failure. Let's keep an eye on this of selling the $14 put spread for next week. MKC. I would prefer the 90s, McGraw. Give it a little more room if there's any juice. With a stop under 91.14. Like January would be fine, sure. If there's juice at the 90 level. This FUBO, okay, it was strong pre-market. I said over yesterday's high, we can sell a put spread. But, on things that come down hard like this, I want more of a potent reversal. And these are two bottoming tails, but it's really not potent and there's no support to the left. So that's why I would not enter this early. Here, PDD, bottom right thumbnail here. I like this for a put spread. And then if it closed like this, then tomorrow to buy the high as a 1, 2, 3. But McGraw, that's a put spread candidate. We can do the 140s for next week. But they're too spready. I got them up already. 50 by $1.10, so forget that for the 140s. Yeah, Bips looks great. James, that looks great. It was in a trading range, but you got your bottoming tails, you got red bar ignored, and it's a gap breakout. So far, Mark.